changes, so every few months it flips back the other way and then goes back again.
Yes. And the big sort of overview piece that implies is you haven't got yourself narrow enough.
Right.
So maybe once that gets on, the other flips off, and then you get your right on and your left goes off, and home is mostly left on, right off, but every now and again it flips to right on and the left goes off. Right, so you've got to be, like you've got to elongate back a little bit and within that narrow. So your thighs need to get a little bit narrower, actually.
And further back in the saddle.
Yeah. So you need to come a little more back and a little bit more narrow. So I just said to Natasha that I think you need to come a bit more back, a bit more narrow, a bit more into slingshot. That's better. And as you do that, as you come back into slingshot, can you almost try and think of your tummy a bit more back behind your thighs? Your thigh down in front of your tummy and your pelvis. That's better. That's better. Feel the of that now. Your tummy and your pelvis more back behind your thighs. That's right.
So video from the middle
that
when she's
gives you
talking.
more narrowness, more kind of control. How does that translate into going left? So you need to be that little bit more narrow, that little bit more back, and really narrow by the stirrup bars. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that's both sides, but it may be that it's more important on your left side than your right. It is more narrow, more back. And really thinking of using your narrow and back to slow tempo a bit, right? So, you know, he would speed off a little bit, you would speed off a little bit with him. I'm not quite sure who's speeding who, but when you get narrow and back, the thigh out in front of your tummy and your pelvis, do you want to turn that? The tummy and your pelvis almost like drawn a little bit more back behind your thigh, right? So, as you go into the rise, we could have chewing gum strings from your butt, chewing gum strings from your inside thigh in a kind of draw up way, right? There could be some strings from his neck, each side a bit ahead of his wither, to your low tummy, that get to pull his neck up just in front of his wither, right? And if you got too far forward, those things would go slack, right? So what this means is your whole pelvic girdle has to tone more. So everything has to get as if you shrink wrapped yourself.
And the chewing gum, the sense of the chewing gum is as your butt leaves the sand, it doesn't really want to. So it's a bit
Yeah,
resistant.
almost like, you know, if you'd sat down and there's lots of chewing gum and you sort of... So it's a kind of, can you pull him up with you kind of idea? Yeah?
The analogy has nothing on the way down.
It could have, on the way down, it would be what we might call hydraulic. The idea of this, somebody once called it hydraulic trot, which I thought was brilliant. So it's almost like you're against a resistance and you're against a resistance. Yeah? So,
Resistance in both phases.
yeah, so it's can you make it hydraulic? Now that really means can you make more tone? Okay, keep thinking of your tummy back behind your thighs out in front of your tummy and your pelvis. Okay, so can you do more hydraulic? You haven't quite hit hydraulic like you did. That's better. That's closer to hydraulic. It has to have foot light. That's closer to hydraulic. So actually what I might do is come and get you to halt where I can climb on the block here. The aim is that you just... So I want you to overcome me in a slow-mo kind of a way, yeah? Don't come down. Alright, so now you're going to go up against me. Now, yeah, you might need a piece of it because I can really stop you very easily. So up against me. Wait. Down against me. So it's kind of like you trot his trot, rather than being able to add that little bit of, you know, it might start as cadence, it might become as catchy. So can you go up against the resistance, yeah, good girl, and down against the resistance? Thinking of the chewing gum strings, kind of pull him up. All right, you're on the right lines. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So your aim is to really try and make this hydraulic. You're losing it on the down. Okay, and it still takes the level of your thighs out in front of your tummy and your pelvis, and your tummy and your pelvis back behind your thigh. That's right. How clear is this to you?
Hugely clear.
Right? Okay, and be careful, he's just sneaking it away from you a little bit again.
If I lose my right, it runs out the left of it.
Okay, so you've got to be narrow and you've got to be back enough to be able to do this. You've lost him a little bit again. And it's kind of like you're trying to draw him up with you, you know, from the under your butt, from the between your thighs. So can you slow? Okay, that's good. That's really good. Okay, war. We haven't talked about round back or hollow back because we didn't need to because you looked beautiful. But the box was there, and it needs to come back here. It wasn't that you've done that to the box, right? So it's kind of, can you be a box that is more shrink wrapped, that has stronger boundaries?
Now, the only time everything can be back in place, and then I put my normal
Yes,
bend and
absolutely. And I might tell you to do rumba too, because if things float off, they tend to float off really well in the outside and shoulder in. Yeah, turning it into the inside of the bend can anchor things that slide off really well. Okay, so let's just go. What's the weight on each zero?
on my left, it goes in percentage to the right.
Yeah, 50-50's even. What have you got?
About 70, 80.
Oh shit. Well, you got a problem.
It's not even the weight on these one, the other one's up on my bottom bit.
So can you drop it down?
Yeah, and then feel the sliding off a bit.
So it's got to come down towards the midline. And just pull up on the panel. Does that pull seat go down? Can you make the pull seat go down? This has to be done midline over.
Yes. But that's strong.
So let go of it. Just go up.
Just stay down.
So maybe let it go up and feel how it goes up.
We'll go now.
You've always been the person.
I know. So it's got into a nice place now.
It's got to a nice place now.
Yeah.
Right. So grab the saddle, may take a little bit of maneuvering, but grab the saddle and I show you. And so in terms of 50-50 would be even.
60-40, more on the right.
Okay.
I'm really pulling with the right there.
All right. So whether 60-40 is a really good idea or whether you'd be better staying 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like pulling the right down has kind of done something pretty significant here. And can you, let's go here. Which seat goes closer to the spine?
Okay.
So the right one has to climb up over your flesh towards the midline. Yeah, this is better. And think of his left side a little bit more long, a little bit more stuffed.
A little bit more.
Stuffed. Can you have a little more stuffing in front of his left shoulder? Yeah, that's it, that's it, that's it. Can his right side be that little bit shorter as his left side is a little bit more filled out and longer? That's more right. How clear is that difference?
Clear but hard to do.
Okay.
It's like there's a twist there. My right seat goes having to go back, with my left knees having to thighs, having to stop the shoulder.
Okay, so keep feeling what you have to do that. Right, and right now this is a really good fix. Okay? And when you get to the wall, keep doing it or the right shoulder's going to just dive for the wall and you're in danger of landing. And slow the legs here, so this is a whiz off. Okay? So somewhere as the right seat bone climbs up, we're trying to stuff the left, so he's a little bit more long and stuffed on the left. Good for you. And that puts you a tad into the counterflex that helps you in roll there. And his right side has to be short. Careful. Good fix. Right, the right side of him has to stay short. Good job. Okay, let's walk.
Yeah, I took the direction from last time I came back, which was good, which was thinking of a bungee from my hip to his hip and just shortening it a tad.
Right. So otherwise the quarters come in and you could just shorten it from
The butt to the hip.
that away. Are you hunting in vain here?
No, not the right. He's running into my left. And I'm going, no, just stay in the middle of them.
So, you know, when you find the right, you may find the left disappearing off left. So, the bottom line here, having found the right.
Don't push the left.
Yeah, this is closer. The right must not push the left off any more than the left must push the right off.
There we go.
Good girl.
That.
Okay. So now we're trying to get you narrow. And what I have to ask you at this point is how much is boards part of how you think?
How much what?
Is boards part of how you think and organise?
It is, but I've got a long-term problem with the right as further than right.
Yeah, good, good. And really think of steering the wither. So you understand balance beam as a concept?
Yeah.
Yeah? So as you're doing this now, yeah, that's good. Right? So neither side pushes either side, the other side off. Slow the legs a little bit. And can you keep him stuffed that little bit more left than he wants? So he's balance beaming. That's it. And it's in the balance beam also that the wither gets to come up. You know, if he can loop it right off the balance beam, your strings are not going to so easily. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Still got two sides?
Yeah. And my right hand for third is just fixing itself.
Okay. All right. Now, do I let you do this, or do I give you any more input into the right outer?
I think it might fix itself with these carrying it.
Okay. So just keep feeling that you've got to keep stuffing him a little bit on the left, putting him on the balance beam. And this isn't just you. The pair of you had a deal. You know, you took your right side away and he took his right side away. Really good job. So him being there under you and you're trying to find a place. Yeah, good girl. Right, keeping thinking right side short, left side stuffed, wither on the line, balance beam. Neither side gets to push the other side off. This is well done. And can you keep it as you come to the wall? Bringing the wither left, stuffing it left. Good job. And if you need your bungee, you have your bungee to help you.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that.
Coming right
Yeah,
as the shoulder goes left.
Yeah, that actually pulled the withers right. Yeah. Forgotten about that.
Right? So it's kind of like you're trying to affect the diagonal in him that brings his wither going left and keeps his butt going enough right. And you're doing a good job. Natasha, I think you should canter a little bit.
Okay.
And maybe not worry about it being too correct or whatever, and pretty much stop.
Right.
I mean, if you can keep your right side, that's great. Can you be short on the right? Build out on the left. Ah, well done, well done, well done. How much can your right seat bone drop down? Drop, drop. Okay, drop, drop. He went, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
Okay, so in right seat bone dropping down, you're looking for short on the right, filled out on the left. Good girl. You might need your bungee.
Yeah, bungee.
So we're bungeeing the butt right and we're filling out the wither and drawing it left. Good girl. Good. Really well ridden away from the track. Okay. Head down the other end, canter left a little bit, get on him and tell him how wonderful he is.
Just leave him there.
Or even leave him there. I'm happy if you leave him there. Yeah, that's it. Okay, Kath, head on down here.